Welcome back to another week of Militia Madness MTG. Today we are finishing out the, I'm finishing out, Morgan's doing a repeat, but I'm finishing out the colors that we haven't shown on this channel yet. I'm playing Mr. Orfeo, the Boulder, Jund, and I will say right at the top, this deck was really, really hard to build. Not because there were less options, but because, oh my god, you can do anything. And I think that's true with every three-color commander. It's like their biggest strength is like, if you want to do something, your three-color commanders are probably a way to do it. So I went through so much stuff. I went through what I call combo soup deck, because the three-color decks really facilitate it. And black, red, and green give you access to Basking Bruteskull combo, Seeker of the Way combo, and then Goblin Persist combo. Seeker of the Way and the guy that whenever you tap, you discard a card, draw a card, and then
Seeker
you kill.
of the Way is a white creature. It's a 2/2 with prowess.
Yes, Seeker something. All I know it's Seeker. I'll put it on the screen. It's the 2-mana guy that taps to untap a creature, and then you untap itself, and then you go off. But spoiler alert, I've built another combo soup deck that features a combo that's literally not legal in our format as of yet, because there's no Jeskai commander. So I want to do something different. I tried Beast Tribal, actually, which is a thing that does work. It's just that deck is bad, so I didn't really want to play another like bad deck for the sake of playing bad deck when Morgan's not doing it. We will play Tribal at some point. I will make Morgan do it, and we're gonna ban elves and goblins and fairies from that episode. We're gonna get some cool stuff.
I call brushwags.
Sure, go for it.
There are two.
Yeah, I'm gonna play like knights or something. But yeah, so what I did go with was a ramp strategy. So I'll start with the ramp that everybody knows is in here. These three cards. So interesting enough, no Arbor Elf and no Boreal Druid. I think Boreal Druid and Arbor Elf are perfectly fine in like red-green or like mono-green in particular. But like I need mana symbols, not just mana. A lot of the times. I don't think they're bad by any means. I just think that for the slots available, I didn't want to rely on having these turn one because I can't guarantee that. So I wanted to play more like 3s, 4s, and 5s. So just being able to curve out and not have a reliance on having to have the elf on turn one means I could cut some elves because I don't need them on turn one. But I think they're perfectly playable. I just think they're the two worst ones, so I didn't play them. I am on Orcish Lumberjack, and I've singled this guy out to talk about him specifically. I love this guy, for those of you who don't know. Summon Orc. 1 red mana, 1/1. You tap it, sacrifice a forest, add 3 mana of any combination of red and or green. So this just accelerates you way more than any of these would. But getting him on turn 1 is very, very difficult. But you don't need to. Because like this helps you cast your 6 and 7s later in the game too. Does very, very good. Elves of Deep Shadow. This is a proxy. Don't worry about it. It adds black. I'm in black. Very good. And then Spider Manifestation and Nightshade Dryad. Sorry. New card from the Spider-Man set. And then very old card from Modern Horizons 3. They're just very, very good. The keywords that they have come up sometimes. Like this being a Death Toucher is really annoying. And then this being... a Reacher sometimes matters, but like this, what this allows you to do is to have curve plays that no other elf will allow you to have, because you can like tap out on 4, play a 4-drop, this will untap, and then you can play like another elf or an Open the Gates or a Crop Rotation or something along those lines. So just having that access to the curve is really, really good. But yeah, apart from that, I will say the colorless ability of Nightshade Dryad, there was a version of my deck that was playing the red guy, the red Eldrazi that has a colorless kicker cost. And I do think you can do that. It's just that there's just barely not enough colorless sources to get there. You have to play like Takasha's Dig Site. Yeah. But it's fine because Crop Rotation finds those cards. But if they ever make a gate that can tap for colorless mana, I think that gotta be good. But I did have him in for a while. He's not in now, but card you can play. Goblin and Archimancer is kind of the final ramp creature, just making your guys cost less. Every creature in my deck, I believe, gets a discount off of Goblin and Archimancer because it's red or green. I don't have any mono black creatures. these. They're these. I don't really think there's anything to say about the 3 visits effects. They're good. They're ramp. Allows me to get up to 11 ramp sources without having to rely on Arbor Elf and Boreal Druid. The one kind of mid-range creature in my deck is just Jewel Thief. Kind of a ramp spell, kind of just a mid-range threat. Okay. It's really, really good with Basilisk Gate because you can keep doing this forever. But I went with this over like Eldrazi or Purpleser and Writhing Chrysalis. You'll notice there is no Writhing Chrysalis in my deck. I think you need to be doing something more with Writhing Chrysalis. I just think as a 1-of, just a 4/5 with reach is just not good enough to end games. Just a big dude. There's so much removal in our format, and because the removal is so spread out, people are playing more of it to get the same numbers, and I just think it dies to too much stuff. So I want cards that are better with Basilisk Gate. And Writhing Chrysalis does nothing with Basilisk Gate except be an Orfeo. Orfeo targeting Basilisk Gate is the same thing. So I kind of already have a Writhing Chrysalis style effect. I am on a Ferocious Werefox because this is Morgan's pet card, and they've turned me on this card. I really, really, really like it. I think cards in this format that do 2 things are just really, really good, and it allows you to do 2 things. So
now the question is, do you have Rancor in here too?
No. The only reason is I want my spells to either be ramp spells, things that take advantage of ramp, or removal spells.
Okay.
And Rancor is neither of those things. So, plus a lot of the threats I'm attacking you with, unless I'm like Rancoring up a Goblin and Archimancer, Trample is redundant on a lot of my creatures. Yeah. Moldering Karok. This is like one of the best Basilisk Gate targets in my deck, apart from the Jewel Thief, but it kind of fits in the same era where it allows you to attack and have a defense at the same time because gaining life. Also, Basilisk Gate stacks so well in your deck because of your commander. You can like Basilisk Gate this for 4, attack for 14, gain 14, which is just like ridiculous. Yeah, Trample Lifelink is really good. You could play more Lifelinkers if you wanted to, but they're in black and they don't benefit off of Goblin and Archimancer. So this is just cheap. This is on rate with a lot of the black Lifelinkers you can play because it costs 3 with Goblin and Archimancer. Frenzied Erranx. This is a card that I think I play a lot over the Writhing Chrysalis slot. Because I think if you're a little bit defensive, Writhing Chrysalis is better because having a big guy that can block flyers and stuff like that is more relevant. But if you're aggressive, I just think this guy is a lot better, and especially if you're putting mana into play or your Basilisk Gate deck. This combo is better with Basilisk Gate than Writhing Chrysalis does. Also, like, take 6 out of nowhere is just really, really good. So, yeah. Or, like, put a counter on him, take 8 next turn is also pretty good. So this is the Writhing Chrysalis slot. I don't think you're wrong for putting Writhing Chrysalis. I just want to be a little bit more aggressive and mid-rangey. Hazard of the Dunes. This card's just decent. A very decent mid-range threat. I'm playing this over the Professional Wrestler slot. Like, my deck is going to look very similar to Brawlios, except I have 2 more colors, and I'm trying to take advantage of those 2 colors. So this is over the Professional Wrestler slot, over the Bannerhide Khrushchev slot too. Bannerhide Khrushchev is okay with Evolution Witness. It creates a loop where you keep getting the Khrushchev back, but it doesn't do anything other than that, and putting 2 counters on my guys that are already huge because of Orfeo or because of Basilisk Gate is just not quite as relevant. I don't think you're wrong for playing it. I'll be real with you. I was worried against my matchup against like cheap flyers, like the Welkin Turns and the Vaporkins of the world, and so yeah, so I just wanted things with reach, and Professional Wrestler just looks at the flying guys and doesn't do anything. This can like block it and stuff like that. So it just barely edged it out. Okay, so people who watch the set review, which is no one, will know that I don't think this card is as good as Morgan does. I didn't say it was bad. I don't believe. But I just don't think it creates the curve as much as you want to. But when I was building this deck, I kept hearing Benjamin Wheeler's voice in my head, which was, in formats, you should always play for the nut turn. And the nut turn 2 is, like, have an elf on turn 1, tap it, make 3 mana, play this, and then get a bunch of lands into play. So I'm playing for that nut for this. But also just, like, you have 7 drops in your deck, and you have mana sinks in the form of like Hazard of the Dunes and Frenzied Erranx. So even on turn 5, getting it up to 7 is still relevant because it means you can like if you have this in play, it means you can monstrous it later. So, well, not monstrous it, but exhaust it later. So it's still very good if you don't get it on turn 3. Strictly better Colossal Dreadmaw. Thanks, Wizards of the Coast. I don't know if this showed up on camera. There was a funny moment against Brawlios when I was playing Mono Black. Morgan attacked me with Brawlios and this guy, and I needed to kill one of them to live, and I was holding Cast Down, which can't target legendary, so that's really funny. But yeah, this card is just really, really good. If you don't have this and you have a Colossal Dreadmaw, you can play it in its place. They're very, very similar effects. But really, I just wanted some 6-mana idiot.
Yeah.
You can play Boarding Party too, if you wanted to. I'm not, because the Cascader I'm on is an Odaltosaur. Reach, again, very relevant. Reach, again, very relevant. I was really worried about my flying matchup, so having access to more Reach is really good. I don't really think I need to say much about this card, because I think every green ramp deck on the channel has played it.
Yeah, it's the best payoff in the format, generally.
Okay. So, here's the thing. Yeah, Morgan doesn't know what this card does. That's not surprising. This is a common from the Streets of New Capenna era, and each of the gangs, are they?
Yeah, gangs.
Yeah, of Streets of New Capenna had one where they're all expensive guys that have texts and whatever, but their main line of text is 2 mana and exile it from your hand, and then target land is a tri-land, and then you can cast this for as long as it remains exiled. So early on in the game, it helps you fix your mana, which is fine. But the other thing is it gives you a ramp target for free. That also helps you fix your mana and is a ramp target in the later stages of the game at the same time. The other thing it's a 5/5 Vigilance Menace, and you can just bop, 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 bop with Basilisk Gate. So, really, really worried about my mana cost in this deck, so I wanted to play one more thing to help me fix my mana. It's a Nyxborn Hydra. It's Nyxborn Hydra.
It's a good card.
It's a great card. One of the best ramp targets in the format as well.
Yep.
Evolution Witness. I have a lot of creatures. I want to get those back, so we're playing that. Run our Mana Cyclers, all of them. Normally, I think I've been sold on the Morgan line of text, which is only playing 2 of them, and not necessarily needing the 3rd one. But we're a ramp deck, so these also double up as threats that can win the game. You Oliphant, and then you know.
Timothy.
Yeah, you can stack your triggers here, because this is when you attack and this is when it attacks. So you can give something +4, +0 and trample is really good. This card is just nuts with Ophira and Basilisk Gate.
Yeah, super menaces, very insane.
Mm-hmm. And when they're not that, they're lands. So and then Saga Walling to finish out.
Unless they're on 4 cyclers.
Yeah, to finish out that package. I did want to give this guy the spotlight it was, because it's not exactly like this, but these require colorless and this requires a green, which comes up a lot, but you're very green heavy.
Yeah.
Also, again, gaining life and Basilisk getting them for 14 is really, really good. Removal. Lightning Bolt. Firebending Lesson and Burst Lightning I want to talk about, because I think they're very, very similar cards. I don't know which is better. Probably, yeah, because this can go face, but this can go 5. So they're not, it's hard to tell.
Yeah. And there's also the one in, why can't I think of the name of it? Final Fantasy, that you can scale up at different intervals.
Thunder Magic. Yeah, I was on Thunder Magic 2. That one got the cut just because it's more expensive to get it to its highest level. It's 7 mana at its highest level. These are only 5.
Yeah, and then there's also 2 other Burst Lightnings that are exactly Burst Lightning, but they can't go face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't want to play those because
they're just worse than Burst Lightning.
They're just worse than Burst Lightning, and they're worse than this because this does more damage.
Yep.
But it is interesting. I do think both of these cards going forward are going to be integral to a lot of red decks. As Morgan and I have kind of adapted, you can play more red removal than just Lightning Bolt, Galvanic Discharge, Chain Lightning. You can play these, and honestly, I think some of these are actually better than things like Chain Lightning.
Yeah, they can supplement in ways very nicely.
Speaking of which, Galvanic Discharge, Chain Lightning. We're on those. What's getting to be a staple for me is actually Incinerate and Lightning Strike. I really, really like these in the format. They kill a lot of the smaller stuff.
No Searing Spear?
No Searing Spear. You could play it, absolutely. They're the same.
Well, Incinerate's strictly better than both of them. Both the other 2.
Correct. You'd play Incinerate over the other 2. If I were in a mono-red control deck, I'd play all 3. but I have access to black.
Yeah.
So I want to be careful about how much removal. Every red removal is one less black removal I can play.
Yeah.
These are more flexible because apart from Galvanic Discharge and this one, these are burn. So I wanted burn to be able to like finish off the last point of life points because I'm like a more aggressive mid-range deck and not like an aggro deck.
Yeah, like I probably underplayed like the lightning strike effects in my burn decks because I'm too used to modern.
Oh, probably, sure. I mean, I think I did the same thing because I'm too used to regular Pauper where these see no play because why would you? Right?
Yeah.
Like, and then why would you? So this is actually, I think, the first time in Chain Lightning's lifetime where it might be a downside. I look forward to that. That'd be really funny if they throw my Chain Lightning back at me, but I think this is probably the first matchup where that can happen. Because I don't... were you on Chain Lightning in Torwaki?
Yeah, it was.
So it could have happened in Torwaki versus Arabella. And then the final bits of black removal. Again, I'm on so much red removal, I don't need as much black removal, which is why Snuff Out isn't here. Also, having a Swamp is not a guarantee in this deck. This is an answer to Guardian of the Guild Pact. But... just being able to kill, like, red's job is to kill the smaller stuff, and black's job is to kill the bigger stuff. So, and there's less big stuff and more mid-range, smaller stuff in this format then. So that's why I'm on that. If that ever changes in your metagame, you could, like, take out the red removal and play more black and, like, Snuff Out and things like that. You could even play, like, Ground Assault if you wanted to and stuff like that. So this is my Basilisk Gate search package, for the most part. Crop Rotation is a little bit more versatile than that because it can help you fix, for one thing, but it can also put a specific land that I'm playing in at instant speed, which is very, very good.
And that comes in untapped as well.
It does. Yeah, well, the land I'm getting.
Well, as long as it normally comes
in.
in.
Yeah.
But
so it does do it with Basilisk Gate. It does, and Heat Gate as well. So you can Heat Gate can accidentally make a treasure or whatever. But most of the time, you're getting Basilisk Gate.
Yeah.
This has a little bit more redundancy. And then this is, I noticed in testing, that this would get Basilisk Gate, but sometimes I'd have no other gates. So I really wanted like another way to find Basilisk Gate that also helps power up the Basilisk Gate. So I played this. But you could play like, I think it's World Map or Expedition Map.
Yeah, there's 2 Expedition maps in the
Yeah, both of those you could play. I just want to play Navigation Orb because it both gets Basilisk Gate and helps Basilisk Gate be really, really reasonable.
Because I think in Brothers War they printed one that like looks at the top 5 cards.
Oh, sure. You can play that too. But yeah, like Basilisk Gate +2/+2 actually means +4/+2 with the Firo. Yeah. So your thresholds are a lot less. I think I probably overplayed Navigation Orb, especially on things like Obira and stuff like that.
I agree.
But here I think it's good because +2 +something means a lot more than just that deck.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like put down your pet cards and all that.
Basilisk Gate.
Yep. Sorry, the play my move, so I was just double checking the frame. It's good.
And then the Basilisk Gate package. I believe I'm on every gate other than Gateway Plaza. Yep. Because it's bad.
And I had both the gates that are proxy, but I did not read the text properly, so they're proxies.
Proxies. It's fine. I'm on all 3 of my cyclers, so I want the lands for them to go get. Pretty standard. You could cut 3 of these for just basics, because I don't have that many untapped lands. Getting Llanowar Elves on turn 1 is very hard. But the thing is, I'm also on Terminate, and I'm also on red cards, and I'm also on all of this stuff. So, and my commander's really, really hard to cast off of Llanowar Elves on turn 1 too.
Yeah, optimizing a 3-color mana base
is very, very difficult. Weird. Yeah. The one tech land I'm playing off of Crop Rotation, I think you could play more. You definitely could play some of the Scry lands because just being able to put them into play is okay.
Yeah, like Colony Garden, like
Colony Garden would be fine.
Mess Up Edicts.
Would be decent. Stuff like that. But I just went with a Bajuka Bog, just because I think the graveyard decks are more relevant than the Edict decks.
I did just think of one which would be really good is like Teetering Peaks to give your creature first strike at instant speed.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Dwarven Mine for the same reason, but Dwarven Mine would be really hard to turn on.
Yeah.
And then 3 forests, 1 mountain, 1 swamp. It's just my very compact, basic package. I think there probably should be 3 more and we'd cut the snow lands, but it's hard to know where those cuts come and all that kind of stuff. And again, I'm just terrified of not being able to cast my spells.
Yeah, and I'm going to have a weird cut situation too, which is just down to like the fact that I don't own enough snow mountains right now.
That's funny. Sideboard, we're on the blasts because we're in red. Really not much else to say about that. Ground Assault and Fang Flames. Originally, I thought just ways to answer Guardian of the Guild Pact being targeted by a Basilisk Gate is like very, very good. just because that can kill you. And they do that, don't get me wrong. But the other thing that Ground Assault does in particular is it allows you to kill big creatures, which is a thing that I think red-green decks struggle with. It's possible that it's overplayed here, and I should just be on Fang Flames, and this should be like a Snuff Out or whatever. Yeah. But I wanted to give Ground Assault a side.
And like you also Terminate for like Guardian.
Mm-hmm. And I've also noticed that Snuff Out I keep siding out, just because in the aggressive matchups it's more of a liability than it is helpful. Yeah. So, yeah. In the Festivities cards, no Electrickery. I felt like 2 was good enough. I didn't really need the 3rd. And so often you're not passing the turn with mana up. So the instant speed effect of Electrolyze was just not as relevant. So Electrickery, yes. Yeah. Not I can't play Electrolyze.
It's not legal in the format.
For multiple reasons, I can't play Electrolyze. Monarch Package. Good against control decks. Good against mid-range decks. Good against decks. Lignify. I just want an answer to decks that need their commander to operate. But 1 is fine. I don't need any more. I actually don't get access to that much more. Because a lot of them are in white and blue. Reverent Silence. This is my anti-Boggle card of choice because you can cast it for free, which really matters in that matchup. Sometimes you'll just wipe all their guys and then play a threat. You can't do that necessarily with Tranquility or the other effects. This being free is really relevant. And giving them 6 life when you attack them for 14 is just nowhere near that big of a problem. Chainer's Edict is here for the Boggles matchup, but it's also just a good card to bring in against like other ramp decks, other mid-range decks, and things like that.
Yeah, I know the other one that like people play is like they Analyze the Crime Scene or whatever. The one from
the Collect Evidence guy.
Collect Evidence, yeah, because it can kill the biggest one guaranteed.
Yeah, I value the flashback a little bit more, just being able to like because that one's really really good against when you need to kill a big creature. This one's good against Boggles because it kills 2 of their creatures. So I valued this a little bit more because against big creatures you can just Terminate or Ground Assault them.
Oh yeah, I was just meaning in like the Boggles matchup too. It gets around like Calling Guard and such.
Oh sure, yeah. I find that with Bolt, Galvanic Discharge, and all those Burst Lightnings, you can kill the the guy in response. That's not that big of a deal. Weather the Storm, it's good against Burn. Hull Breach. You'll notice I'm not on that many like Destroy Target Artifact effects in my deck because I don't think they're good. Like the thing is like the Affinity deck in our format doesn't really exist. What does exist is the like Black Sacrifice deck, and against those you don't want to blow up their artifacts. Like you don't want to kill a Blood Fountain. It's just not good. And stuff like that. So I wanted an answer to like problematic enchantments like classes and things like that. And then a Colossal Dread Mask, which I bring in against control because it turns everything into a threat, and combined with your commander, it's nuts. That's it. That's my whole deck. Like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, and we'll see you on Friday.